Right. And imagine like for Chrishell, she's gone through a breakup twice, on the show. So it can't be easy. I mean, I purposely choose not to talk about my personal life on there for that exact reason, because it's too emotional for me. So I really truly respect that they're willing to put it out there. Anyone is.
Yeah, totally. I mean, do you think it's over that scene where like Amanza is crying at the end? You're so like, oh, you guys are just make it work. Like,
I don't know, because Jason is very, very honest. Both Jason and Brett are truly very honest, and even in difficult moments, they're extremely honest, which I really respect about them. And so and they're good communicators. So I think unless he truly had changed his mind or some event occurred for him to really change his mind, I don't think he would try again. And I also don't know if she would, right? So, but hey, crazier things have happened. People get divorced, they get married again. Like, I don't know, anything could happen. So I just want them both to be happy. So I don't know.
well, that's what it is.
What
You're
that
like,
means,
sometimes crazier things have happened. You're like, sometimes you have to lose someone. And even though you
Yeah,
don't want a family, sometimes
totally.
I just think like you want someone so bad that you just decide like, I'm going to have a family next. I'm in love with
It could, but then who's to say that Chrishell wouldn't have met someone else, right? So I really don't know how it's going to go. None of us know, and that's kind of the fun mystery of life. But I hope that they both find happiness, and I hope we all do. But maybe it will be in the end. You never know. The show seems to bring out the most interesting scenarios, so it could be.
Season 6. Do you get involved in, like, I know, you said like you keep your relationships and personal life off the show. Do you get involved in like, hey, now Chrishell is single? Like, do you get involved in helping fix her up?
No, I think we socialize, and I don't know, if someone were to be at a specific place like spontaneously, we would be like, oh, this guy's cute or something, but I wouldn't fix her up, no. And unless she asked me to or something, and I happen to know somebody or something. But I'm always happy to help, and I think all the girls would be. But Heather was also like, what happened on the boat, so she was a little bit like, okay, well, I mean, you just never know how someone's chemistry is going to be or whatever, right? So
That's true. Do you ever tire of real estate? I mean, we watch this show. Like, I mean, listen, let's forget about the drama. I mean, the real estate porn on this show is just.
I would love that more than anything, and that's why I was a little bit disappointed that my lease to buy option didn't make it for Adnan, especially because he was so pleased that it worked out. And it's disappointing, but there's only so many minutes in every episode, and they have to edit everything together. And they do add updates as they happen. And so there was an update with the relationship with Chrishell and Jason, so they had to make a little room, and maybe that's why some real estate may not have made it. I don't know, but we don't have control over that. So
do you ever tire of looking at these properties? Like, you've been, like you say, 16 years. I mean, as a viewer, I don't think we do. I mean, I live in New York. I've seen gorgeous properties in New York. I'm in LA all the time, but this show just shows the best properties. And I understand like your business is not all of these trophy properties that we get to see, but like, do you ever tire of looking at all this?
I don't get tired, but I do, like, you do get kind of like almost like expect a certain level of opulence, right? Or like you see his and hers bathroom, and it's like a standard, and a lot of people are confused, like, why is there 25 bathrooms and like 8 bedrooms? And it's like, because it's his and hers, right? And then the guests and everything. So I think we have a certain higher standard of expectation, but we also kind of just see it for what it is, like the bones. Like, if it's not staged, we can see it, oh, this is a great place, or this one has a lot of potential. And it's just a little bit more easier for us to like see the pros and cons a lot faster than maybe a homeowner, because they really want to see it staged, and they want to see when it's all dressed up. And for us, it's a little easier, like, to quickly kind of look through it. Yeah, I mean, and the bars are always, I guess, increased. So in LA, especially, there's just insane amount of property and like the best of the best. So we're always impressed by some new thing or some incredible view, or like, how did they build this? Like, oh my God, the bathroom is like the size of a living room. We're like, oh my God. Like, so we are impressed too, and blown away by they keep, going above and beyond. So
what do you think is the biggest mistake like that, like a buyer could make? Like, is it, not seeing like, okay, look at the bones. Yeah, you have to like change the paint color, but like, look at this view. Like, what do you
Yeah,
think is the biggest mistake?
it's funny. I have a client right now. She's looking for a high-end condo over 3 million, and she only wants a remodeled one. And I'm like, okay, but the view and the floor plan, all this stuff is cosmetic. You know what I mean? Like, you could easily put a different, yeah, countertop or paint or floor. That's all easy. And to me, I don't even, doesn't phase me at all. But she's like, oh, I don't like this. And I'm like, but look at the view, and you can dress this up. So I notice it's so clear to me, but the buyers are really, really impressed by the staging and the just the finishes. And so that's something we try to kind of like bring them closer to what we're seeing the potential of. So
And what is the market? I mean, like, I know we saw on the show, like, things were
it's
going
hot.
south. It's still hot.
It's so hot. I mean, again, this client with this condo, we were in backup, and then we were multiples on other offers, and she's all cash, right? So now she only wants one particular building. So I wrote letters to every homeowner in the building and was like, please sell me your condo. My client's all cash. She's ready to go. I mean, we're like, that's the kind of level of like, there's nothing available. The inventory is just so low.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good, right?
It's good, but then you sometimes don't have a deal because she in the beginning she didn't believe me and she thought I was kind of trying to sell her, and then she realized when we were in multiples and lost out, and then back up and lost out, and she was like, wow, okay, I understand now what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, you kind of got to experience it to trust it, right? So now she's ready to go. So
You got to move fast.
right.
We also saw this season, Mary took over as everyone's boss.
Yeah.
How has that adjustment been for you?
Fine, it's not a problem at all. I mean, everyone's kind of, we're self-employed, right? So we're, I have no problem with Mary. We get along great. We have different experience, so it's been great for me. It's a non-issue at all. I mean, my one thing that I was a little surprised about is Amanda was very tricky, and then Mary said, oh, it takes a special kind of agent, and I was like, well, why didn't you save the deal then? You know what I mean? Like, if it's such a, so I don't think she meant it particularly bad, but I just was like, well, you were there, you could have saved it, so.
What about this scene we saw when like Mary goes around and she asks you, and you say like, oh, I haven't made a sale. Like, I understand editing and all this, and then we see
Yeah, I
Vanessa.
mean, I don't really take that too seriously. I was like, okay, the reality is I did put Adnan's place and at least an option to buy, and it wasn't shown, so that's why I can't get to take that too personal. So
What about, this whole, I mean, listen, Christine and Chrishell, they're probably never going to see eye to eye, but this whole thing with Christine, and she's saying like she's getting special treatment, she's fucking the boss, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's pretty out there.